Believe my friend Diane is on board. Hi, Diane. Oh, I see you saying hi to Hannah. Hi, Karen. Nice to have everyone here. It looked like such a nice morning. I thought, gosh, I should put up a tour for everyone's sake. I do want to do in our preamble here, just a quick, Robert, okay, just a quick hello to my friend, our friend Diane, because I just know that she's had quite a lot of family stuff going on recently, and we all know what it's like to suffer loss. So it's nice to have you here, Diane. Give you a big hug all the way from here. Nice to see you back here in this community that loves you so much. So here is everyone. Hi there. Good, well, afternoon. I guess it's just, I think we're like 10 seconds away or something from 12:30 in the afternoon in Banff. I don't really need my toque, but it's a little windy, so I've got the little headphones in underneath here. So Robert's saying, okay, for those of you, hi Lucy, hey Hannah, hi everyone, hi Mary Lou, hey Chloe, nice to see you. So for everyone who is unfamiliar, okay, is hello in Blackfoot, Picanese, Siksika language, and this is Treaty 7 territory, of course, here, so Blackfoot First Nations. Hi Susan, hi, hey Michelle, nice to see you. So very significant, and of course the land of the Stoney Nakoda First Nation, and Tsutsina, and of course Métis Treaty 3. I had a private tour yesterday. Hi Merle, hi everyone. Sorry if I miss you, I apologize. Big hugs. But it's people are all jogging around in their shorts. I put the warm coat on because I came out my bike. So quick update on my life. Garage door broke yesterday. Fortunately, a fabulous guy from Canmore came out. Like I emailed him yesterday and boom, called me, said, oh yeah, I'll come out. And I'm going to have to replace the garage door. There's a moving truck coming through. It's a very moving experience. But yeah, I replaced the garage door opener. But you see, I have kind of a tough garage door because there is no house access. So if it ever fully broke, then you couldn't get it open, right? So he's coming back. So, you know, it was $750. I didn't budget, but it was a 25-year-old garage door. So, you know, there's sometimes you just kind of have to accept that. So I came up here just for a little fun. I'm in landscape again, which has been really working well on these tours. It just means that, you know, your chat comes through and fades really quickly. So I just wanted to come up and show you because I don't know if I've ever shown it. I am right here at Grizzly Street. And of course you have beautiful Cascade Mountain in the back there. But I'm at Grizzly, and then the next street over is Wolf. And wolves and grizzlies don't necessarily get on, but they don't hunt each other either. So that's kind of fun. And then St. Julian Way over here. Hi, Rosie. One of the few streets. I think there's 5 streets in Banff that are not named after animals or trees. But we are here in our town of Banff, and it's clouded over a little bit. We're having a very cool spring. Look at these gorgeous homes up here. Remember, none of you can buy these homes because of the need to reside clause. On my private tour yesterday through Tours by Locals, the 2 gentlemen were both lawyers, and they were fascinated by the need to reside clause. But and that means you have to earn your living here. You have to prove your need to be here. But you'll see this is the sign for the Banff Center for Arts and Creativity. Basically, our mountain university. They've come up over their 90 years now. So it's, you know, Chloe's just said it's a photography challenge of wolf and grizzly. I think that's really fun. And down in the middle, someone's told you to stop. Ha! But I just thought it'd be fun to come down this way. Now, I did bring my bike. There she is. And look at my fancy new summer tires. I know when I put up a post the other day, someone said to me, oh, I didn't know you were missing your bike. It wasn't that I was missing it. It's that I've switched out my winter tires. Remember, we're now officially summer. And I've only switched out my tires from winter tires to summer tires. So my winter tires are studded. My summer tires are not. I did give it a good clean the other day. But I went down to the marsh down below the cave and basin a few days ago, I guess 2 days ago, and I was looking for birds because this is the time of year you go down and find them, and it had rained quite a lot, and I was finding these ruffled warblers. I had to send the pictures to 2 friends for someone to just figure out what they were. So I was seeing so much bird life. The osprey are all back. We're having a lovely time right now with all of our bird life. Sulphur Mountain up there. But I decided to do the whole loop. But the horse tours are on now in Banff, which is, you know, fun. If you're into horseback riding, it's pretty basic, right? It's kind of nose to tail. And as they say, when you're not the lead horse, the view is always the same. Good question. Oh yeah, Robert just noticed that skateboard park. Isn't that fun? Yeah, So my kid is still an active skateboarder, me a little less so. But I went down to the marsh, and the loop is about, not sure, 2 kilometers. Well, it was all mud and full of horse poop. And eventually I had to put my bike into its maximum support, and I was sprayed with mud and horse poop. Hi, Jay. Hey, Paula. So by the time I got home, I actually stripped off outside of the front door so I could carry my horse poop and mud clothes into the washing machine, which is fortunately just inside. So I have not seen, Chloe just asked about hummingbirds. I have not seen a hummingbird yet this year here, although I did see them when I was up in Alaska the other day, just last week. So nice to have everyone here. By the way, yuck, it toughens me up, Susan. For those of you who are wondering, our friend Paula is coming. Well, she's coming over here next week, but then she's going to come to Oaxaca this year with a couple of friends. And I think Justina might be coming. So that trip, when I do get it all published, I'm just getting through the November one to Costa Rica, Nicaragua. But I'll get that up, and that one will start. I'm going to start that one in Mexico City for anyone. Everyone's welcome, but I think for the Europeans, because you're going to fly into Mexico City anyway. So I'll do 3 nights there so you get a feel for it. And then Oaxaca, of course, for 6 nights, and then down to the coast. So, it's just brilliant. But and that one is not a tour that I make money off of, just so you know, everyone. It's just a tour that I just do at cost, because I will go there every January of my life. Because I have dear old friends there. My dad spent 3 winters in Oaxaca. So if I don't go and hang out for cooking classes with my buddy Oscar, then I shouldn't be there. So, and then I do have planned out a Canadian Rockies in the winter. I don't think our friend Mary Beth is here. She'll be on that one for sure. Look at this house with the canoe. See that style? It's very much, well, it's actually more of an Eastern style with the big old shingles. Those shingles would be about 1 meter long, each one of them. This, by the way, is where we're on the corner of Caribou and Grizzly. And grizzlies love eating caribou, but there are no caribou here in Banff National Park. So when the bison were reintroduced in 2017, we proudly said every animal that was here at contact is still here. I guess we could say that's not entirely true, because there is no caribou population in Banff now, but there is a population up in Jasper, a small one. Look at some of these lovely homes. I haven't shown them to you. This is the kind of home that came out from the Loyalists who had gone up to Ontario, New Brunswick, came out here, and they had to lower their houses and seal in the verandas for our cold winter. Now, it's kind of fun coming down here. And then you have your classic mountain style of home, of course, log cabins. There's about 18 properties for sale in Banff right now, which is a lot for us. And there's 2 one-bedroom. Sorry, I just can't read your messages at the moment because I'm riding the bike. Oh no, I've come to a dead end. I know you know, but there's our cemetery. People have been dying to get in since the 1880s. It's 1883. But it's kind of a who's who of Banff down in there. And of course, we're still a town of less than 9,000 people, but world famous, the 2nd oldest national park in the world, and the oldest park service in the world, and of course, a vast, vast area. And the Great Banff Springs Hotel is the reason behind the trains, which created Canada. So, now this house here I have very mixed feelings about, because they have an Inukchuk in front of it, which I think would be a better symbol of Canada than a lot of things. So it's that's an Inuit symbol there from the far north, but they also have cut out the maple leaf to put in an Alberta flag. So it kind of means to me they're sort of Alberta separatists, which is not something that I share any kind of vibe with whatsoever. But I would like to come over our pedestrian bridge. Now I'm riding with one hand. I'm just going to have to indicate here with my hand that's holding the gimbal. Oh. Hi, ladies. There you go. So I want to take you over our pedestrian bridge, and then we'll stop. And I know a few questions have come up, but I'll take you up. Now, of course, I'm always so proud of these pride flags around town. These all went up during the pandemic when we couldn't have Pride Festival. It's always, and I know when Diane was here with me a couple of weeks ago, it's always so moving for people from abroad to see how incredibly diverse it is here. And I'm just so proud of that diversity. I think it makes us better people all the way around, and so many new Canadians now come explore these parks and fall in love with it. And I think it really helps with them starting to feel part of this society. Now, look at fabulous Mount Rundle in the distance there. And for those of you who do follow all of my fun cold plunging, look down here. Now, in the summer, this is where I swim. Those were swifts just coming by. So I will start swimming here pretty soon because the rocks are uncomfortable enough that you want to get in. And of course, when you get in water this cold, you want to get in as deep and quick as possible. But once the water comes up just a few, but not even a meter, about half a meter, 1.5 feet, 2 feet, then I can swim out into the current. But I won't go down that way in the current because those are the Bow Falls. They only take on about 14 meters, or whatever that is, 40 feet of elevation, but they go on for 3/4 of a kilometer, half a mile. And that's the reason the train isn't coming. You know, Paula, you say Burr, and you're correct. Hi, Joanne. Although I went up to Johnson Lake the other day, I went for a swim, which was just lovely, first one of the season. And then up behind me here, of course, is Sacred Buffalo, Guardian Mountain, or Tunnel Mountain. So this is one side. The houses, or the street that I was just on, is Buffalo Street. Those people don't have to pay. Hi, Cece. You're shivering thinking about it. Do you know what? I feel so good after I plunge. The other day I went in for a good long... Oh, hey, Janice. Hi there. Big hi to you. Hey, I will at some point talk to you because I might be making it to Cape Cod later in the year. So I was thinking of you today. Your name came up. So I'll let you know about that. So back around here. And look at that view down in the distance. So there is the Massif Range out there in front of me. Let me just try and do a zoom for you. There you go. Look at that beautiful range of mountains. The big flat top over on the left is Mount Bourgeot. Bourgeot was a Frenchman who came in the Palliser expedition, 1857 to 1860. And everything I read about him is he was the right person to be the naturalist because he loved absolutely everything about it. Then on the far right side of that snowy range there is Pilot Mountain. And hey, Patty, big hugs to you. Nice to see you here, my friend. Over to the right is Pilot Mountain. They started flying airplanes into here in 1911, and they would literally use that one very square peak on the far right of our screen as a way of knowing where the road turned down into Kootenay National Park. There still was no road to Lake Louise at that point. There was only a train. And then they built a road in 1916. Are you ready for this? With interned labor, right? So, I think it's important to be honest about that as well. So I'm a little overdressed for today. It is stunning today, isn't it? So what I thought I would do, I'm also going to show you the negative to the summer here. Because Banff Avenue is pedestrianized, which we love, but it causes a huge backup on the bridge. And because over on this side of the bridge, you've got about 1/3 of Banff's population, but you also have a hotel with 850 rooms, the Banff Springs Hotel. So now the river is not turquoise yet, and it won't be for a few more weeks. In fact, we're only the end of May. So after all the snow melts off, that'll be probably second week of July, then the river will be fed by the melt but it'll be fed from the melt of the glaciers, and so that's when we get the deep turquoise. And there's a film that just debuted up at the Banff. Sorry, I'm just waiting for these nice people to go by there. So if I turned left, we would have gone down where the art walk is in the summer, but that one leads to some stairs eventually. So I'll head down this way for a minute. I don't think I will actually go over the road bridge. I tell you what I do need to do, everyone, is I need to pull over just for 1 second because I just got a little dust. I don't know if it was a bug. Reintroducing caribou is a lot harder to do. That was a good question, Chloe. Sorry, I got a little something in my eye, so I'm going to put my sunglasses back on. Caribou are not kind of reintroduced the way bison are and everything. Caribou herds are massive, right? When you go up to the north, there can be 500,000 of them. So it's really the Columbia caribou, which are over in the next valleys when you get over towards between Golden and Revelstoke to the west. And if their population can move in here, that's good. But I don't think they're going to be easily replaced because their territory is important to them that way in terms of generational learning. Now, that's not inherently a bad thing. It's just another reality. So you see e-bikes everywhere. This is the YWCA up there, and that was our original hospital. And when the pandemic hit, they were getting ready to turn it back into a hospital, and they were going to turn our hockey rinks into a morgue. Unfortunately, that didn't have to happen. Let me just go up here for 1 second. Ooh, well, I've committed now. There's a bunch of construction going on, so I didn't really mean to, but I wanted to try and just give you that view down Banff Avenue. Now, Cascade Gardens, we get cicadas? We do not get cicadas. No, great question. No, we don't. Oh, goodness me. This happened to me only 7 or 8 times in my life when I've been tarred and feathered. Let me just get around this for a second, everyone. Sorry. Oh, man. All right. That was just a little bit yucky, so I just had to get past that. They're trying to do roadworks. We cannot, so we have 2 seasons in this country, winter and construction. And you can't do roadworks when the ground is still frozen. But you see these vehicles trying to cross the bridge? This is why you want to do your very best to ride a bike or walk in town, because like there's APT tours. Those are Australians, Asia Pacific touring, and they're going to be stuck, and they probably have a reservation up at the gondola. Now, when I get back from my trip to Ireland and Scotland, and a few days in England, so a big party out in Liverpool. But I will be taking 2 busloads of people from India up there, which I'm looking forward to. But if they're still doing that repaving, I'm going to have to factor in, I'm not kidding, another half hour to go all of 4 kilometers. Can you imagine? So, sorry, I see you saying, yay. You can imagine the smell. Yeah, that wasn't very nice. Yeah, so I'm going up today. I'm actually staying the night at Lake Louise in the village with my friends from Louisiana who came around the UK with me last year. A group of 10 of them, I think. And then we're going up to Jasper for 2 days. So do watch. I'll see if I can put on a last minute tour tomorrow morning or something. Maybe at Lake Louise. I can't promise that, but I'll definitely put up 1 or 2 when I'm up in Jasper with them, because the forecast looks just great. And I'm looking so forward to seeing them. Oh man, there's our pedestrianized street. This is the trade-off. Some people in this town absolutely are furious about pedestrianizing Banff Avenue because they're stuck across the bridge and it causes the bottleneck of traffic that we just saw. Now, when you live on the side of the valley, I absolutely love it. And of course, I do everything by bike here. But I do understand the complaint. It is a legitimate concern. And the biggest concern is in case we ever have a forest fire. Now have a look. There's grandiose Cascade Mountain down to the right. And there, of course, is Banff Avenue Brewing over in the Clock Tower Mall. And that you will recognize that Swiss style of architecture. Back in the 1890s, Canadian Pacific brought Swiss mountain guides out here to open up our mountains for tourism, of course. But it's just so beautiful. Isn't it gorgeous? So I thought I would just cruise down a little ways. Now, another debate. I can give you all the debates going on right now. They haven't had a lot of the patios set up because it's been rainy. It's been rainy and cool. So Mountain Warehouse has moved in here on the left. That's just been renoed. We're really hoping that a restaurant does not go into where the bay was, and that's because we don't have housing for the amount of employees you need for. I mean, we have a dearth right now of basically 1,000 beds for employees in Banff. But this is the next big debate. So Parks Canada has entered the conversation. Again, many of the people in town, probably a third, don't want this to be pedestrianized because of the driving on the other side of the bridge. But then we put out all of these patios during the pandemic, and they were wonderful, of course, because people could socially distance and be in the great outdoors. It was safe. A whole bunch of good things happened for everyone. It's nice of her picking up their sign that just fell off. It's really good of them. Or it's a menu. But it is also arguably an expansion of your business footprint. And remember, we're a national park, so there's lots and lots and lots of rules about that sort of thing. And so Parks Canada has spoken up to say they're not sure they approve of all of these terraces. But it does look awfully nice, doesn't it? There's Melissa's mistake up there. She named that after her first husband. I'm sure a few people on board here have had that same sensation. But you know what? We're all entitled to make mistakes. Just don't keep them festering for too long, because then you feel terrible and you only got one life. I do love here, though, when I take people down for these walking tours. So Vietnamese, and then a Korean restaurant, and then we have 4 Indian restaurants. We have such a huge diversity, which is testament to how many people come here. Park was the first distillery ever opened in a national park. I personally won't drink to that, but have a look over on the right. There's the Info Center, the old auditorium from the original high school, and there's the Presbyterian Church, thank God. Now, I know many of you know all of these sites, But now we had been looking out at the snowy Massif range. I'm going to try and do a fun little zoom here. And when I do a zoom in the distance, way out there, that mountain that looks like a pyramid doesn't even look real. That is Mount Almer. It's actually the highest mountain you see from the town of Banff. It's higher than Cascade. Cascade's 3,000 meters. Do you know, so I always say that Cascade Mountain right there is 2,998 meters above sea level, which is 10,000 feet. I saw something published the other day that said 3,006 meters. But then the same thing called Mount Almer the highest mountain in Banff National Park, and that's not true. Oh, Mary Lou, is your birthday? Now, sorry, when I'm riding the bike with the sunglasses on, I can't see the chat. But if it's your birthday, it might be a couple of days away, but hey, Jean de pays, c'est à ton tour de te laisser parler d'amour. So, nice to see you. Yeah, it's the only thing about doing a biking trip. Tomorrow, well, hopefully I can put up, that's lovely. Hopefully I can put up a trip tomorrow, but I can't promise because, well, I'm going up to Jasper. So maybe at the ice fields I can do a short one, but I have all my friends from Jasper or from Louisiana coming. And when I say friends, you know, I spent over 2 weeks with them last year and had so much fun. So sorry, I meant to have you not stare at my face as I'm biking, which makes life a lot more pleasant for everyone involved. That there over on the left is the Irish pub for you Irish on board. It's a bit of a Dublin accent, wouldn't you say? So, but the fellow who owns it's a nice guy. He's actually lives in Vancouver. But they do usually have at least 1 or 2 Irish on staff because, of course, so many young Irish come and get work visas here. And then as we move up onto Bear Street, I was trying to go through, you know, I'm going to just go sneak around. This is where it's fun having a bike. I'm going to head up onto Bear Street. Here we go. Come on, everybody. There we go. See, I'm like one of those delivery guys in great big cities like London, New York, zipping through. So this is Bear Street, the other semi-pedestrian street. Banff Poutine. So, Paula, when you come over to Canada, now, Vancouver's not really the place for it. Vancouver's the place for sushi and fusion, but you should have a poutine. For those of you who are unfamiliar with it, it is French fries, cheese, curds, and gravy. Oh, by the way, hey, Robert and all you Ottawa folk, last night, Finn and I and his girlfriend steamed a brisket, and we had Montreal smoked meat sandwiches on pumpernickel. I couldn't get any rye. There's one of the oldest buildings in Banff. So we had it on pumpernickel with spicy mustard and pickles. And it was super yummy, but I was kind of doing vegetarian up to then, so I felt very full all night. But yeah, we steamed the brisket for about an hour and a half, and it was just delicious. And Finn had been out to a Chabad festival, which was a Jewish party, and they were all having a picnic. Well, he had been to a Filipino party in the city the night before. That's how multicultural it is. And then he went out to the Chabad, which is kind of most easily, it's not fully a synagogue. It's not fully a synagogue, but it's kind of an outreach. And of course we have a small but happy Jewish population down here, and Finn's very involved with them. So that was a neat thing. But yeah, smoked meat. And today I have literally juiced my greens this morning and eaten nothing else because I woke up still feeling full. So you'll see, sorry, it's a little windy right now. So let me get up to the river. So this is Bow Avenue, and named for the reeds that were along the river. So I'll get out of the wind, but look, the colors coming up in this section already of the Bow. Fabulous thing. Apparently spoke 8 languages. I mean, I think that's a really impressive thing. Here, just pull over for a second. You can see. Oh, Sarah, Sarah just asked if I'm able to swim in Lake Louise. I expect there's still quite a bit of ice up there. We're staying down in the village, not up at the chateau. The chateau is just so expensive. I just do it at winter tours. But, you know, I will definitely swim in there this year. I will be home for most of July and August with the one big exception of at the very end of August, I'm going to be back over to the UK, believe it or not. Oh, there we go. Let's go see the train, shall we? I hear that train a-rolling, and it's rolling around the bend. And I ain't seen the light since I don't know when. Good thing is I'm not stuck in Folsom Prison, and I'm a Canadian, so no one be allowed to kill me either. Well, that's good news. So there we are, out jogging. Now this is where I swim in the winter, down at the canoe club all the time. Thanks. Thank you. and they have one of the Voyageur canoes out there. I'm not going to go up and film here. Just there's lots of people there in their high season. The staff who work here, it's true, Karen. The staff who work here are just such lovely, lovely young people. I don't know if it's the same staff as last year, but you end up having fun with them. There's another Voyageur canoe. That's how the mostly French Canadian fur traders would have paddled up rivers. Now down on this little arm of the bow here that actually just creeps out along from the Vermilion Lakes, I often see, if I come down in the morning, I'll see muskrat and beavers. And then our hospital over on the right, which we are extremely proud of, because if you need your ACL replaced, it's one of the best places in the whole wide world for it. Oh, here, I'm gonna come show you the train. Here it comes. Some people just love trains. There. Hey, thank you, Sarah. All right, 2 engines. This is freight coming in. Now, some of them are double stacked. This is the path of our ancestors, and I'll show you that in a minute. I'll just give you a chance with Mount Norquay in the back. This train could easily be 200 cars. And you hear that sound, of course. It's so funny. I feel very fortunate. All the squeakers, they're still talking about cheese curds. It is just, now some people, it does wake up tourists. It's so interesting. I wake up when I sleep in big cities because I don't live in a big city. And I wake up and it really does affect me. That's right. When Karen, I think we have a video of that, Karen, when we were at Harper's Ferry, I was actually telling these people, because one of the couples yesterday live in DC. So I was actually telling them all about you. And they said how fancy it is that you live in Loudoun County. They were just lovely people. But yeah, these trains will be on average 180, 200 cars, 25 to 36 a day. But my house faces away from it. I face sleeping Buffalo Mountain. And so I don't really hear them, but tourists will say it wakes them up. I just filter it out, right? But here is La Route des Ancêtres. So I'll show it to you on the English side. There was our little train station from 1910. And this one is saying that people have been living in the Bow Valley for as long as 11,000 years. New archaeological evidence is actually saying 13,000. So, I mean, that is pretty massive. It's a huge amount. And have a look at that train coming through. Let me see if I can just get up and get you a little bit of reflection. So our muskrat who lives around there, it's so clear the water right now. You don't want to be a fish in this water. Hey, thanks, Michelle. You don't want to be a fish in this water because it's so clear. The osprey will find you and catch you. And that will be the end of your fish days. But just come down here for a second and get that train with the reflection. What a lovely video. CC, they call them squeakers. The trick is, if you're things that we're talking about, poutine, you make your French fries. I like the thinner cut ones. And then you put the cheese curds on cold, and then your gravy you pour on top hot. And so they keep a lot of their chewy squeakiness. And then you can add some smoked meat on top of it if you want to be really just super unhealthy. So up there in Mount Norquay, pretty much all the snow's gone. I don't know if their Via Ferrata has started yet, but that is mountaineering for non-mountaineers. Yeah, it's true when you live by trains. Although you see how long this train is? We could do a whole tour of a train. Now those round cylindrical, I don't know what they are, but they're probably heading up to the oil fields, conceivably. But it's pretty remarkable. Again, all the mountains point from west to east. There you go. There's, Kansas City Southern there. That is what you call rolling stock. So I didn't get a count, obviously, but that was probably around 160, 180. That's a good amount. So let's do one little loop over by the train station. And then I'm going to message, because I think whilst we've been doing this visit, my friends from Louisiana will have landed in Calgary, and they're renting a minibus. And once they get out, they're going to have to get out here, but then I will drive it, particularly now that I have my fancy Class 4 license, which allows me to drive vehicles up to, I think, 24 seats. And I will take them up to Jasper, so Lake Louise tonight. And then I will go over to my friend Glenn's house, who works for Parks Canada. He's lived at Lake Louise, a town of 700 people. He's lived there 15 years. And we will watch the hockey together. All right, here we go. And you can stop right there, thank you. That's how it works. We really have pedestrian lives. Look at those wolves there. Wouldn't you love to see that? The only good question, John's just asking, do the trains carry people? The only passenger train we have is the Rocky Mountaineer. And it's very expensive. The two couples I had on tour yesterday were going to Lake Louise for 2 nights and then getting on the Rocky Mountaineer. What I don't tell them is, Jay, well, hey, big hugs to you. Nice to connect. I want to thank everyone for the contributions, whether you do it here or through the donations linked to my page. It's much appreciated. I'm moving ahead with some work on my website and all sorts of things, so I pay for it by doing these tours, so I appreciate your support. Now, as I curve around, here's the old train station, but just my point about the Rocky Mountaineer. Don't quote me out loud, but I'm thinking their new slogan should be, how do we ruin your next 2 days? But I don't really mean that. But up here, here's the historic station. Now, I just can't quite get the bike up there, but there's a picture of William Van Horn. He's the one who said, to pay for the trains, if I cannot export the scenery, I will import the tourists. And that's the significance of the Banff Springs Hotel. There's Mount Bourgeot again. So let's just, oh man, it's such a beautiful day. Let's just loop right around back to Banff Avenue one time, and then I will bid you adieu. A demain, au moins. Para los que hablan español, hasta mañana. So do start to build some enthusiasm, everyone, for either. Now, I think my Costa Rica and Nicaragua trip will be nearly full, because that one's going to be capped at 20. And then Oaxaca, I go alone anyway, but I will take anyone who wants to come. I wouldn't recommend the train unless you had a disability or something. And I'll tell you why, and I think Diane will totally understand this. Like, when we were driving down through British Columbia, the train goes there. We saw it several times. You leave early, you get in late. But when we saw a bear, I turned around and we went back and looked at the bear. You're given so much more freedom. If it's a rainy day, there's always a plan B. There you go. That's just learning to drive. So it's not, and I mean, the train's nice, but the service is good. But basically, you just eat and drink for 2 days. So you know what? They try hard, but it is, and they've done such good marketing that some people don't believe you can actually get from Calgary to Vancouver any other way, and you certainly can. The train is very expensive, so if you're, say, 4 or 6 people traveling together, I think the train runs about $1,000 a day, right? I mean, that's a lot of money you can put towards a lot of other things, but for people who love trains, dude, I love the train from Cusco to Puno. I will do that next November, not this November, but a year from now. I will be doing a trip down to Peru finally, because I'm embarrassed I haven't been back to Peru for so long. Of course, last time I was there, unfortunately, the government had a problem. But if I don't get to South America every year, I feel badly. You're welcome, John. So, I say you're welcome to make contributions right here through YouTube or through my website, or some people do it just once a month. But I do appreciate that. And here we are back at the other end of Banff Avenue. There's Herschel on the right, by the way, the suitcase and everything. That's where Finn works. And my kid is probably nearly home by now. He just had school this morning. Well, I mean, Diane was lucky. It wasn't just seeing the bear. It's when she went out and tickled its chin. I thought that was a big, bold move. But so there we are, everyone. I'm getting warm now. So nice to hang out. We've been on for over a half hour. So what I'll do, because I'm going to call and see if my Cajuns have arrived. So I do want to just say, well, thank you. Peace and love to everyone. Thanks for hanging out here. And, as always, I ask if you're not able to support us financially, if you at least do the likes and share these videos and just keep growing our page. That's really helpful. You're very welcome, everyone. So it is a little dusty, so I'm going to put my sunglasses on. Hey, all the very best. Big hugs. It's good to have a good laugh every now and then. Every time you laugh, I'm adding 11 minutes to your life. Now, if it doesn't work out, come back and see me, okay? But big hugs, and there's perfect Cascade Mountain. And I'll give you one little view. Not that I'm into patriotism at all, but that's kind of fun with the Canada flag there and the Banff Visitor Center in the back. So you're welcome. All right, everyone. Be healthy and happy, and I will see some of you pretty soon. So, and happy birthday, Mary Lou, if I don't happen to get online tomorrow. All right. Lots of love. You will, I bet you will. Bye-bye.